Hi, fifth grade. Today's math lesson is lesson 3.3, and we are just doing more fraction multiplication. So really, this is a review of the things that we were doing yesterday, just multiplying a big number times a fraction. However, today we're going to use pictures to show what we're doing. So a lot of your assignment is just going to be multiplying like you were doing yesterday, and you did a very nice job with that. But there are going to be a few where you have to use a picture. So we're going to review how to do that, and then you will be using those skills on your assignment today. Number one here is just an example for me to kind of see what they mean to use a picture. Let's see if I can zoom in for you a little bit so that you can see this a little bit better on your screen. Number one says, Farmer Diaz has 3 acres of land. He plows 1/5 of this land. The number of acres he plows is 1/5 of 3, or 1/5 times 3, because we know that of means to multiply. So we would just take 3 acres times 1/5. We already know how to do that. If I do 3 times 1/5, what would I get for my answer? 3/5, right? They are showing me how I can put it in a picture. So they took and they drew a rectangle, and they knew that he had 3 acres. So they cut their rectangle into 3 pieces going up and down. Do you see the pieces? Here's 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces. Then they took their fraction, and they knew they needed to divide it into 5 sections because that was their bottom number. So they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they shaded 1 section because he farms 1/5. So all together on their picture, if I count, I have 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, which is the exact same answer that we got. As long as we can multiply to get the answer, we're good. But sometimes they want us to show the picture. So let's see if we can do that on number 2. It says, Farmer Smith has 4 acres of land. Well, look, they already put 4 acres here for me. Here's 1 acre, 2 acres, 3 acres, 4 acres. She plows 1/3 of her land. So we want to cut this into 3 pieces because that was my bottom number. So let's cut this into 3 to show our picture here. And she plows 1/3. So I'm going to shade 1/3 of this acre, 1/3 of this acre, 1/3 of this acre, and 1/3 of this acre. How many thirds has she plowed? 1, 2, 3, 4. So she has plowed 4 thirds. Notice, I would get the same answer if I was doing what we were doing yesterday and just multiplying. 4 acres of land times 1/3, that would give me 4 thirds. Now, we can't leave 4 thirds like that. How do I fix that improper fraction? I'm going to divide. 4 divided by 3, that will go in there 1 time. 3 times 1 is 3, subtract. Ooh, I get a remainder of 1. So now I have to write that as my mixed number. Usually we were not getting remainders. Today you're going to get some remainders in there, and that's okay. Remember, this is my big number, so a big 1. My remainder is my top number, and my bottom number stays the same. So look back at our problem. Our bottom number was already a 3, so it stays a 3. And we probably want a label. What would my label be here? The farmer plows 1 1/3 acres. And that would be my answer. So I can show the picture, but really as long as we know how to multiply it, we're doing good. Let's just multiply on number 3 and see if we can get the answer. Olga walks 9 blocks to school. Her friend Luis walks only 1/5 of that distance. How many blocks does Luis walk to school? What does that keyword mean to do? Multiply. 9 times 1/5. What is 9 times 1/5? 9/5. And we need to fix it, so we need to divide. 9 divided by 5. That will go in there 1 time. 5. What is 9 minus 5? 4. So I have a remainder 4. All right, we have to write it as a mixed number. Big 1. Top number of my fraction is a 4. Bottom number stays the same. It was already a 5. So 1 4/5, and what would my label be? Blocks. Luis walks 1 4/5 blocks to school. Alrighty, down here at the very bottom, we have a few more pictures they want us to be able to use. So it says, circle the fractions on the number lines to help you multiply. And they're gonna give us the problem, 1/7 times 2. So they've given us a number line from 0 to 2 because that was our big number. And then they have chopped each section into 7 pieces because that was my bottom number. I need to circle 1/7 of each of those pieces. So in between 0 and 1, because that's a piece, I need to circle 1/7 because that's the fraction they gave me. So I'm circling 1 space right there. Then go to your next section. It's like a new candy bar back here. Like here's 1 candy bar, I eat 1/7 of it. Here's my next candy bar. I eat 1/7 of it because that was my fraction. And to get my answer, I just count those up. I have 1/7 and 1/7, so that would be 2/7. We would get the same thing if we multiplied 1/7 times 2, which we already know how to do. We just want to make sure that we can show it in a picture too, because sometimes they want us to do that. So let's try the next one. 3/7 times 2. So my big number is like how many candy bars I have. So here's 1 candy bar, here's 2 candy bars. They've already put them on my number line for me. My bottom number tells me how many pieces there are in my candy bar. So they've already made 7 pieces there and 7 pieces there. My top number tells me how many pieces I have eaten, let's pretend. So here I have 3/7. So I'm gonna go on my first candy bar and I'm gonna circle 3/7. So 1, 2, 3. Notice I'm circling the spaces, 1 space, 2 space, 3 spaces. Go to my second candy bar, 3/7 again, because that's my fraction. And then I count up how much I've eaten. I've eaten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6/7. Notice if I would have multiplied 2 times 3, that is 6. My bottom number stays the same. I would have gotten the same answer. We're just showing it in a picture. Let's try 2 more just to make sure you got the hang of it, and then I'll let you start on your assignment. We have 1/5 times 3. So my big number is my how many candy bars? They have already numbered them for me. My bottom number is a 5. That tells me how many pieces are in each of my candy bars. And my top number tells me how many I've eaten. So I've eaten 1/5. So I'm gonna go to my first candy bar, circle 1 piece. Go to my next candy bar, I ate 1/5 of it. And my third candy bar, I ate 1/5 of it. Then I count up to see how much I've eaten. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. All right, one last one. 4/5 times 3. So again, I have 3 candy bars because that's my big number. They are each divided into 5 pieces because that was my bottom number. And my top number tells me I'm eating 4 of them. Almost the whole thing. So look at your first candy bar. You're eating 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pieces of the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 pieces of the next one. I'm very hungry. Then we count up how many pieces we've eaten. So we ate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I ate 12/5. Uh-oh. What do you see wrong with that? It is an improper fraction. We need to fix it. All the rest weren't, but that one is. So let's fix it. 12 divided by 5. How many 5s will go into 12? Oops, you can't see that very good. Let me fix it for you. There you go. How many 5s will go into 12? 2 of them. 5 times 2 is 10. 12 minus 10 gives me a 2. So I have a remainder of 2. 2 remainder 2, and I'm going to put that as a mixed number over here. Big 2. Top number is a 2. Bottom number is a 5 because that's what it already was. So 2 2/5 would be my answer for that. Again, as long as we are multiplying, we know what to do. We're just using our pictures to show how that answer looks on a number line. So think of candy bars and pieces that you are eating, okay? Make sure you look at your homework page. We did some examples together in class, and that will help you know how to do each one of them as you're working on your own. Do your best. Keep up the great work.